Oi, oi, you filthy swines! Get in here, sit down. We're going to do this. We're going to read some news. So, how old exactly are the ancient pyramids in Egypt? Are they only a few thousand years old, as we're led to believe, or are they in fact much, much older? I tend to think the latter. I think there's a lot of evidence to show that. We'll see what this next article says from the Lad Bible, an article written by Joe Harker, Egyptian Great Pyramid Secret that points to lost 12,000-year-old super civilization. He doesn't think they were built when history records they were. I don't either. I think they're much older. Not an expert, but I think a lot of the examples I've seen of the surrounding quarries suggest that they are from a period prior to the desertification of the Sahara, when it was actually green and there were rivers and such flowing across that region and a lot more rain. So that would make it at least 12,000. Let's just get on with the article. Should we get on with the article? A man has claimed that the Great Pyramid of Giza and its surrounding structures were not built by the ancient Egyptians, but by some older super civilization about 12,000 years ago. There have been all sorts of claims about who really built the pyramids, though experts are pretty clear it wasn't aliens or anything else weird, but instead the people we would typically associate with the magnificent monoliths of stone. That hasn't stopped people from making claims, and in a paper titled The Pyramids of Giza, Legacy of the Unknown Civilization, ancient studies scholar Antonia Ambrosia claimed that this mysterious super civilization is truly responsible for the pyramids. According to him, the ancient Egyptians didn't build the three main pyramids at the Giza site, and instead inherited the buildings from whatever came before. For context, the ancient Egyptians started out around 5,000 years ago and stayed around for a very long time as they went through successive dynasties and pharaohs and built many pyramids. He says inferior pyramids made later point towards the Egyptians not building the best ones. Scholars disagree. So you're suggesting there that he's not a scholar. Why does he think the Egyptians didn't build the pyramids? According to Ambrosio, the smaller pyramids aren't up to snuff when compared to the larger ones that predate them. It's thought that the Great Pyramids of Giza was built around 4,600 years ago and served as the tomb of Pharaoh Khufu of the 4th dynasty, while the other less impressive pyramids nearby, built years later, didn't show the same skill and craftsmanship. Basically, if they could make a pyramid as great as this one, why couldn't they do it again? He also claims the nearby Sphinx bears signs of rain erosion, suggesting such a rainfall to cause it hasn't happened for thousands of years, which according to him means it was already being worn down by the rain when the ancient Egyptians were just getting started. Claiming later pyramids represent imperfect attempts to imitate pre-existing structures, the man reckons the Egyptians appropriated older structures made by their forerunners. Even today, we're not sure exactly how the pyramids were built. As the National Geographic notes, they are such an impressive feat of engineering. However, archaeological excavations have uncovered records showing boatmen bringing materials to Giza, including stone to build them, tools to shape them, and cattle to feed, all of the workers actually putting the pyramids together. Yes, but do they actually document the more recent and imperfectly built pyramids instead of the much more ancient ones that may be 12,000 plus years old, perhaps? The Great Pyramid of Giza is the largest of its kind, built for Khufu, and still contains his sarcophagus, though some of the riches buried with the pharaoh were likely looted from a long time ago. Artwork on the walls of the tomb shows farmers, carpenters, and priests going about their duties. Harvard University Egyptologist Peter de Manulain said, almost any subject you want to study about pharaonic civilization is available on the tomb walls at Giza. If you want to see this structure for yourself without taking a trip to Egypt, you can always try the 3D tour experience. Yeah, is there not a very long list of pharaohs going back for like thousands and thousands of years, and they've somehow decreed only a certain section or recent section of it is canon? Is that true? There's a long list of pharaohs that have basically been designated to the trash can of myth and are not considered real. I like to think they're very old. I like to think they're Atlantean, and there was a civilization 12,000+ years ago, before the floods, during the Ice Age. That's perhaps hinted at in the Bible and other very old texts. And perhaps there's a grand conspiracy to hide all of that. Are these the newer pyramids, the newer, crappier ones? These piles of rubble here. Oh, look what we did. We made similar ones to yours. Yeah, no. I like to believe crazy stories, and this is a crazy story I'm going to return to again. But that is it for now. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you also subscribe. But that is it for now. And the only thing I have left to say is Pigwig out.
Oink, oinkity, snort, snuffle, snuffle, squee, oink, oink, ree, squeal, snort, snort, oinkity, squee. Oink, 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 squee, squee, ree, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 ree, 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 oh. Snort, snuffle, oink, squee, squeal, ree, snort, oinky, oinkity, oink, oink, snuffle, ree, squee, snort, oink, squeal. Oink, 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 squee, squee, ree, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 ree, 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 oh. Oink, oinkity, snort, snuffle, snuffle, squee, oinkity, oink, oink, snuffle, ree, squee, snort, oink, squeal. Oink, 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 squee, squee, ree, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 ree, 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 oh. Squeal, squeal. Snort, shuffle, oink, ree, squeal, ree, snort, oinky, oinkity, oink, 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 snuffle, ree, squee, snort, oink, squeal, oink, oink, oinkity, squee, squee, ree, 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 snuffle, snort, squeal, squeal, oinky, oink, snort, snort, squee, oink, 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 ree, 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 oh. Squeal, squeal, snort, snuffle, oink,